Hello everyone, I am Dr. Kavita Ramakrishna. I am the Cultural Ambassador of Oman for Art, Yoga and Sanskrit. I am also the founder of Tamogna Foundation. I came to Muscat 14 years back. My husband got a job here. He is a banker. And since I am a postgraduate in Sanskrit, I started teaching Sanskrit for few of them who were interested. It started with 4 numbers and I have taught for more than 800 students. Then at that time I had learnt even the Tanjore painting, which is the traditional art of India. Some of them asked me to train them in that art. Slowly I started training them, by which even I learnt a lot. Then that hobby turned into a practice and it helped many of the people and also the children in the schools, which made them to focus more and help them to improve their memory, the concentration. I have taught in the schools, I have conducted the workshops, and everything what I did was for an honorary, it was like an honorary job to say, because my husband always says that still you are a learner, which is absolutely true. Learning never ends. So I started the journey in this way. And yoga, from childhood I was practicing, which I had left. I again started doing yoga. And there I learned the Surya Namaskars in a better way. And I started getting the benefits. Somehow I used to get a satisfaction when I performed sun salutations. Then I targeted to the number 108, then multiples of 108. For the cause of breast cancer, I did 432 Surya Namaskars at a stretch. And later, for this pandemic situation, praying for the world, I just dedicated myself and completed 648 sun salutations. So this is a short brief of my journey. As I mentioned, the sun salutations attracted and I completed around 648 sun salutations for this pandemic cause. And through this art, Sanskrit and yoga, I had the opportunity to do some honorary work even at the Indian Embassy, Oman, and also the Ministry of Tourism, Oman. I visited the mosque here and I felt extremely happy, and I decided to do the Tanjore paintings to the monuments of Oman. First I started with the mosque and later I have done for the different monuments of Oman. Let it be the khanjar, the jewelers, the ornaments of Oman, what they use, and different forts of Oman and different roundabouts of Oman, which we have different concepts. And today I'm very happy to share that all the walis of Oman have my paintings, and really even the Indian Embassy has encouraged the art, and these paintings are hung on the walls of the Indian Embassy, and these paintings are for the cause, and the remunerations goes for educating some people of who are present in the labor camps, and it is also given for the medication purpose through the embassy. And it also helped me when I had the opportunity to meet our Prime Minister during his visit to Oman. And he is the one who asked me to pen up my experiences about the sun salutations, what benefits I had, and how everything, whether it is art or the yoga, is helping me to be calm and composed. So this led to a different journey where I wrote a book on sun salutations, that is Tamogna, and from that the Tamogna Foundation started, and I was blessed to have even the honorary doctorate from the University of Florida for this book Tamogna, and we are doing many services through this channel. Just want to share with you all about what is yoga, why we should do yoga, and is it only doing asanas and pranayama is called yoga, or yoga is something beyond all this, and what benefit you get out of this yoga, that final happiness or the bliss which we all want to, and how this yoga has blended with my art, and how both are helping each other for the cure of some ailments, whether it is physical ailments or the mental ailments, especially the modern ailments. Why I'm telling this as a modern ailment is this, whether it is hypertension or the diabetes, which is very common. It's nowadays it has become in such a way that if you don't have diabetes, then you have to get it really tested. Why you don't have still? So in those days, it is whether it is with my grandparents or parents, hardly they used to have, at least till the age of 80, they never even felt about the sugar, or even today I have my own in-laws who are not facing all these problems. So which is very common now, and even the children are insulin dependent. It's very hard to say that and accept that, but it is the fact. So how this yoga, especially for this pandemic situation, where our life has become very sedentary and we are isolated away from the families, away from our country. So how we are feeling and how this yoga is helping is what I want to share with you all. So first, let us see what is yoga, then before going for the benefits of the yoga. Yoga is a Sanskrit word. It has derived from the Sanskrit verbal root yuj. Yuj means to join. What to join? They say that it's our inner consciousness with the universal consciousness. Let's make it simple. Life is full of ups and downs. Poverty, prosperity, happiness, sufferings, appointments, disappointments, different seasons like summer, winter, rainy season. So it is a cycle where you'll have lot of ups and downs. But we should know how to balance that cycle. That steadiness or the balance in a simple way can be called as yoga. The actions what you perform skillfully is called yoga. The solace from the restlessness is called yoga. You are always restless, so bring that restlessness to the restfulness is yoga. It is a method which emphasizes at different levels like physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual, emotional levels. It brings a balance. It's a process in which you can wash away all the limitations and also the what imperfections you have. Mind is always fluctuating. It's never quiet, it never stops. But you have to stop it. Arrest it, calm it, culture it, compose it. How to do this? Mend it well, mend your mind, have mastery over your mind. This is yoga. Having the mastery of mind is yoga. At the same time, whatever action you perform should be in a relaxed way and with full awareness. Action performed in relaxation with awareness is yoga. So, we can just define yoga as tranquility, serenity, equanimity, balanced state of mind and body, ease and peace is what is yoga. Now you just came to know what is yoga. Let us see why we should do yoga. As I mentioned, health is very, very, very important always, but at this moment that has created a lot of stress. If you are just coughing, if it is the regular cough or sneeze also, we become panic. So what is health according to WHO? It is physical, mental well-being, social well-being is called health according to WHO. But what according to yoga? It is physical, physiological, mental, intellectual, and spiritual well being is what is called as yoga. Why I'm telling the emotional health also here, and why mental well being is important here, let us analyze that. As I mentioned about the modern ailments, why it is caused? First thing, actually, there are three pillars of life: your conduct, your food, your sleep. Everything plays a very important role. Your lifestyle plays a very important role in your health. We do all good things. For example, spoiling ourselves, our health, whether it's related to the body or mind. We are the cause for everything. We are best nowadays in not eating the good home food home prepared cook. Instead of that, you are just having the food which is junk, that is unwholesome food, unhealthy food, and maintaining the time is ultimate in our life cycles now. It is always untimely, which is very, very wrong. You should start your day with the yogic morning and the yogic evening, which will help half of your health. You'll be cured. So what is that? How to eat healthy? So we say in Sanskrit, Hitabuk, Mitabuk and Rutubuk. That is, eat, the quantity which is required, which is healthy, and at the same time, at the proper time. Even the season plays a very important role. Don't eat mango in a winter season. When the season, nature is giving those fruits, enjoy the fruits at that time. Eat according to the place and the habits where you have brought your genes are from. So that solves most of the problem. And next is your sleep. You should be very careful about your sleep. Nowadays, your meal is only after the sunset. Before, they used to finish everything before the sunset, and later it used to be just the liquid diet. Now it is not the system. We will have the heavy meals in the midnight, and it is different from the solar cycle, and our cycle differs. So whereas in nature, as I mentioned, you have to join your consciousness with the universal consciousness. In the same way, you should follow the cycle of the sun. That is where it plays an important role. Digestion becomes easy, which we are not following. So food is not taken care of, and the sleep is not taken care of, and a lot of pollution because of our own technology and the sedentary life. Especially, everything has become online now due to the pandemic situation. Hardly you walk around. You have the remotes for your AC, remotes for your TV. You don't even move out. The cooking has become less, and everything is dependent. You are dependent on the machines. So that sedentary life is causing the pains in your muscular movements are not there. Joints are not getting the it's not loosening because you are sitting your sedentary life. So you are spoiling the body also, your food habits, and due to the isolation, you are not socializing. When you are not socially well taken care of, again you will have the suffering, because the health, it underlines that social well-being is very important to be healthy. So body, mind and your soul should be calm and composed, for which the yoga is very, very, very helpful. So then how to do yoga? Is it doing the asanas or the exercises? Is that the yoga? There are different streams. There are 4 streams of yoga. We say the path of intellect, the path of willpower, the path of action, and the path of emotions. What's path of intellect? Actually, this is very easy to say, but in practice, it's difficult to do that. If you say path of intellect, learn to develop the detachment. When you are attached to any position, whether it is a material attachment or to the person, you can have the impact. When the detachment happens, it's easier to accept it. When you are very much attached, it's very difficult to accept. And when it is path of action, you should be very, very regulated. Self-regulation is important. And again, the attachment should not be there. Control your anger, control your emotions, and whatever work you do, do it without any expectations. That solves most of your problem. Control your emotions, as I said, all the anger or the greed, or being very happy, or your likes, dislikes, everything comes under your emotions, which is taken care, which takes care of your mental health. So in this way, you need not do only the asanas and pranayamas, the toughest postures, then only you are not a yogi. Doing all this, then if you do not know how to control your anger and anxiety, then you are not a yogi. So you should follow it or practice it. They say an ounce of practice is equal to millions of theories. So try to follow a yogic life by controlling your mind. Then is there no need of any asana and pranayama? I don't say that. It's also very much required. We need the practice of asanas and pranayama. Why is it so? The body is made up of 5 sheets: physical, physiological, mental, intellectual, and the spiritual sheets. If the health was not related to the mental well-being, then thousands of chemicals which are used for our medications would have solved our issues. There are advanced surgeries which would have helped us. There would have not been a need for yoga. But since the body is made up of all these sheets, everything is important and they're interrelated. For example, when you are tensed, your visit to washrooms become more. When you are stressed, your eating becomes more. This is a simple example I'm just quoting. How they are related, let us see. What food you take is for your physical body. Then the breathing technique is for your physiological body. When both are in balance, then your mind is taken care of and it is calm and composed. When your mind is disturbed, your thoughts are disturbed, then it affects the respiratory system. So, the oxygen required for the cells is not supplied in a sufficient quantity. That disturbs the digestive system, in turn the excretory system. This is absolute science. Yoga is science of life. So, keep your mind calm and composed, and then the body is fine, the pranayama kosha or your breathing is fine. Everything is interrelated. So how to keep this body fine and how to keep this prana fine or your breath fine is by pranayama and also the asanas. Asanas takes care of your muscles. It tones the muscles, it stretches the muscles, it loosens the muscles, joints, gives the loosening of the joints, helps you to keep mobile, improves your posture, keeps you steady and comfortable. Whereas the prana, the breathing technique, when you do it in a calm way, breathing is slow and steady, your mind is calm and composed. In turn, you can control the emotions. And at the same time, if you are stressed, if your breathing is not normal, then the food intake, the digestion gets affected. That leads to the stress, and that in turn leads to different diseases. This is how they are interrelated. As I mentioned earlier, I am also an artist. Then we found when I was doing one painting, stage by stages, I used to feel very happy. It has different steps in this painting. First we'll be doing the mug work, then the stone work, and then we'll make the gold work, remove the wherever this gold sheets, wherever there is stone, and then start with the painting, and later giving the polishing, the final touches. Each and every stage the paintings looks colorful, which makes us more and more happier. So finally, whether it is yoga or whatever in life, the goal is happiness. So I thought, why can't we link these two? The art therapy, you have heard about the music healing therapies. it is the mind sound resonant technique, which the sound waves of the music, whichever you are enjoying, links with the sound waves of your body. When it resonates, you find the vibrations in your body, and that makes you happy. In the same way, I thought that art therapy will give the satisfaction, will give the happiness. So we are planning to have this art therapy in a mental clinic here in Oman, which is this is founded by our Her Highness Saida Al Basma. It is known as Serenity, and there we are going to adopt this art therapy. So, yoga and art therapy finally for calming our mind and keeping our mind composed, which in turn helps us for the mental healing and also in turn the physical healing, the breathing, everything should be normal, which is very much required always for every person. In this art therapy, you are focusing totally into the painting. There is a psychological study which states that reversing the thoughts, by reversing the thoughts, you can reverse the mind. So, that is calm the mind, reverse the diseases. Reversing the thoughts can reverse the diseases. How do you reverse the diseases? By you're not thinking only about the illness that diverts your mind. You are diverted because of the art or through the yoga. Then obviously for that particular moment you forget everything and your cells gets activated and you're trying to become healthy, both body and mind wise. This is the main aim of doing the art therapy along with the yoga. And at the same time, as per the physics says that two things cannot occupy the same place at the same time. So I want to bring the positive change, remove the negative change. When you add the positive change, automatically the negative aspects will be deleted from your body. This is the main aim of doing the art therapy along with the yoga, to divert the thoughts. And finally, what is happiness? What is bliss? What is yoga related to happiness? Happiness differs from person to person, from community to community, from place to place, is it not? Because one person may like gulab jamun and other may like the other sweet. He may be happy with this. At the same time, why I said the communities, different states of India only have different foods, different tastes. One person may be happy with rice, one person may be happy with chapatis. So the delicacies differ. So community to community it differs, place to place it differs. And your hobbies will differ. You may enjoy music, I may enjoy art, someone may enjoy doing the exercises or doing yoga. So as I mentioned, I am very much happy when I do the sun salutations. And why I recommend always the sun salutations is, it is the king of asanas which takes care of the whole body, and at the same time, when you don't have time also, you can accommodate a bit of your time, maybe hardly even 10 minutes you can do 24 sun salutations. So that takes care of your body, that energizes your body, that makes your day, which helps you to keep the day calm and comfortable. So you can really try that sun salutations, which makes me happy. And I always want to tell that a sweet, I can just provide you a sweet, but you have to enjoy the sweetness. Then only you can relish the sweetness and feel the sweetness. In the same way, what is happiness I was talking about and what is the bliss? As I mentioned, that when you eat the gulab jamun, you'll be going for a restaurant, you're planning to have that gulab jamun. That moment when you take the spoon, you have a piece of jamun which is soaked in sugar syrup and you are going to have the bite of it. As soon as you bite it, you will forget the rest of the world around you and your focus is only on that jamun. So you enjoy that moment, you enjoy that bliss. That temporary silence or the happiness is the bliss or the happiness, what we call, and what you get through the yoga. And that is involving your mind in that particular action. That is why do every action or every job with wholeheartedness, without expectations, without any rewards. If you do that with full satisfaction, that itself is yoga. Do it in a relaxed way with awareness is yoga. So enjoy the bliss, enjoy this happiness in your life is my prayer. And remove all the negative thoughts, bring out the positive thoughts. Nothing is impossible. We can come over even this pandemic with our positive thoughts and prayers. We will change our lives from illness to wellness. We will remove the word stress and replace it by smile. We will share the love and let us change the challenges to opportunities. So every challenge can be faced. Nothing is impossible. Remove the word no from all our dictionaries is what is the aim of doing yoga, and that is, mastering your mind. By mastering your mind, everything is possible. Just remember that you can do it and you will do it. You can do it. Best wishes always and prayers for you all. Thank you.